The Parliament Ad Hoc Committee started its hearings in October to investigate wide-ranging allegations of political interference and police corruption made by KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi was the committee's first witness, where he focused mainly on the alleged unlawful disbandment of the Political Killings Task Team by Minister on Special Leave, Mchunu.
For now, what we are accusing the minister of is the minister's failure to protect the organization. The minister's negligence that allows the rogue people within the organization to do as they please. And that brings us here today.
Mkhwanazi, during his lengthy submission, touched on the PKTT and the 121 case dockets that were allegedly moved from Durban to Pretoria by the likes of Shadrack Sibiya. But Sibiya denied these allegations during his appearance before the committee. Sibiya appeared after Mkhwanazi, where he also defended the decision by Mchunu to disband the PKTT, saying that the PKTT was spending money irregularly and also should have benefited the entire country and should have been absorbed into serious and violent crime.
What this whole thing actually, this whole exercise means is that we've got task teams that are all over the country, and they are not properly monitored nor controlled. If, for an example, now there is fire somewhere in the Eastern Cape, we form a task team, we take certain members from different offices. Those members leave the docket, they peg them there in the office of the commander. They go for the task team. And they claiming a lot of money every day. I'm sitting with Westbury, I'm sitting with El Dorado Park, I'm sitting with Hanover Park, I'm sitting with all those areas, sensitive areas, where every day I get videos of a shootout, mothers crying, where we need to focus our energy, but we're not focusing our energy there. We're focusing our energy on a PKTT in KZ, and that is actually every 3 months applying for millions of rand too. So I say it's not helping the country at all.
Now, Minister Mchunu, who is one of the main witnesses before the hearings and the ad hoc committee, appeared shortly after Sibiya, where he also defended his decision and his directive on New Year's Eve last year, saying that it was a political decision and he was empowered by the Constitution to take that decision to disband the Political Killings Task Team. He also tried to justify his decision to disband the PKTT without informing senior police officials like Fanima Semola, the National Police Commissioner, as well as Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the KZN Police Commissioner, and the head of Crime Intelligence, Dumsani Khumalo, who is the project manager for the PKTT.
There was no dedicated day. There was no dedicated meeting to discuss the National Political Killings Task Team before I wrote the letter of directives. But I am putting it that the directive does indicate the need for a meeting on the 20th of January, that is after, to discuss in the form of a report. I am saying there was also an indication for the need to discuss in the UNESCO later in January. So those matters were recognized, and I'm saying this is a political task team in SAPS, and don't equate it to policing, overall policing in South Africa, to make me feel guilty that I didn't consult on the team specifically in a dedicated manner in a day. Don't make me feel guilty, because I'm not guilty for that.
The next witness before the committee was former Minister Matlala, who appeared as former National Commissioner and as the former Minister to give the committee some insights on the running of the police's operations, as well as the Political Killings Task Team. Matlala also denied knowing the likes of Mkhwanazi, but admitted before the committee that he did know Fusimuzi Matlala, who he is accused of receiving large amounts of cash from during the last couple of years.
Do you know Matlala?
Very well. I met Matlala in December last year.
2024.
2024. That's the
Before
first.
the directive?
That's the first time I met Kat Matlala. December 2024. I can't remember the date, but it was after the raid.
The raid on the 8th or the 6th? The 6th of
Yeah.
December.
Because that's one thing that brought him to me.
Bheki-Cele's submission was followed soon after by Shamila Batoy, the head of the NPA, who gave the committee evidence around the infiltration of the criminal justice system. Batoy was also questioned around the arrest of crime intelligence head Dumisani Khumalo, who's also the project leader for the political killings task team. Andrea Johnson, the head of IDEC, also gave evidence soon after Shamila Batoy to give evidence around the criminal justice system infiltration and also links to any political figures and underworld figures within the system. During its final phase of hearings for the year, the committee heard evidence from Vusimuzi Matlala from the Hoshi Mampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria, where he sat for 2 days to give evidence before the committee on alleged links to any politicians, as well as payments that he allegedly made to the likes of Bheki-Cele and other key figures in the criminal justice system. Vusimuzi Matlala admitted to knowing former Minister Bheki-Cele, telling the committee details of how he met with him at one of his residences and how he exchanged cash on 2 separate occasions, totaling R500,000.
And I know you have your own personal VIP protection services company, but that was a huge amount of money to walk with. Was it in a bag, in a suitcase, in a Woolies bag, in some paper bag? How did you move that kind of money?
Yes, it was inside the Woolworths shopping bag.
Following the conclusion of Vusimuzi Matlala's evidence at the Hoshi Mampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria, the committee will look at further witnesses like the likes of Robert McBride, the former head of IPID, as well as Paul O'Sullivan, forensic investigator who was accused of interfering in police operations by both members of the committee and also by certain witnesses who gave evidence before the committee. The committee will then move to conclude its business by the end of February and is expected to maybe call again further witnesses like Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the first witness, to come further substantiate some of the submissions made by people that he implicated in his evidence in chief.